In today's video, I'm going to show you how to share a Google Doc or a Google Sheet as a template that someone can copy and then edit themselves in their own Google Drive. So to start, you want to go into your Google Doc and you want to go up here to this share button, and you want to make sure that for general access, you have anyone with link, and you want to make sure they're a viewer. So they can't change your file, but they can see it. Then you want to copy a link to that file, and then I'm just going to go over here to another tab and paste that link in. And what you're going to want to do is remove this part here that says Edit USB Sharing, and you want to change that to one of two things. The first option is to change that to copy, and then let me hit enter and show you what that does. Then when you share that link, people will get this screen, and then they can make a copy that goes in their own Google Drive. Another option is to, instead of copy, do template /preview and then hit enter. And what this does is it shows a preview of the document, and then people can click this button, use template, to make a copy of the document in their own Google Drive. So you can pick which of those options you want to use. This one can be good so people can get a preview of the document before they actually copy it over. And that's it. It's that simple. You just want to create this link and share this wherever you want to share, in your email, on your website, anywhere you want to share a link, and then people can copy your document as a template.